it's time to talk some baseball trades. The deadline is right around the corner. What is it, 6 days?
6 days, less than a week.
Monday.
No, is it Monday? August 3rd is Monday?
August 3rd is Monday, yeah.
Yeah, okay, good.
So
good
not
job.
6 days, 5
Nice
days.
math there, Chris.
5 days.
So Monday at 6, is it 5 p.m.? 6 p.m.
Time, I don't know. It's 5 days.
Sorry, doesn't matter. I think it's 6 p.m. Anyway, Mike asked us to do potential trades. I didn't respond properly because I did not give the return package because I was just like minor leaguers, whatever. You don't know what team is interested in what prospects.
Right.
Whatever. But we're going to start with what I said was my unrealistic options. That would be the best, and then we'll get to all three of us did realistic options.
Yeah,
But
before
first-
we do that, I just want to tell everyone, we know it's the first day of Browns training camp, but they don't practice till 1, so we have nothing to react to yet. So we will do full reaction to training
Why are
camp.
you justifying what we're talking about?
Because we're getting a lot of people yelling at us for not talking Browns training camp. And
who
we're like,
cares?
well, it hasn't started yet. So just want to make sure everyone understands that.
Mike is a man of the people. He wants to have
There
transparency.
We've talked about Browns training camp every day for 1,000 days.
including the first hour of the show.
Yeah.
So, but just want
1,400
we are just in case you thought
That's a
we
bad
didn't know
qualifier
or
on
we
your-
weren't aware that training camp was going on today. We are well aware. It just hasn't started yet.
What
So,
do people want us to talk about that we haven't talked about already?
the
Sean and
quarterbacks.
Shador.
Yeah. Who do you think's going to win the quarterback battle?
Yeah, go ahead.
No, your unrealistic one, and then we'll go to Jason's real one, Chris's real one. Your
If the
real one.
Guardians spent money and were aggressive, this doesn't have to be unrealistic. It's unrealistic because it's the Guardians. I mean, it's crazy. It would be a massive haul for the Guardians if they did it. Trade for Mason Miller, Byron Buxton, and Hunter Goodman. Woo!
Easy as that. Make it happen.
Guardians would be the favorites to win in the American League.
Well, the Twins are they're buying, they're not selling.
Hey, well, that's completely unrealistic. The other two are, yeah. And the Byron Buxton, I'm sure the Twins wouldn't trade him to the Guardians either.
Correct.
That part is completely unrealistic, even if it wasn't the Guardians. The other two would be realistic. Now, what you'd have to give up all of your best prospects to get Goodman and Miller.
Yes.
But I don't care. They're prospects. Most don't pan out. So if I could get Hunter Goodman, who's one of the best hitting catchers and he's young in baseball, I don't care that he's not that good defensively, and Mason Miller, who is the best relief pitcher in baseball, and Byron Buxton, who is, when healthy, obviously gets hurt a lot, but when healthy is one of the best players in baseball, the Guardians would be totally transformed overnight. But sadly, none of this is realistic. They will not get any of these guys. So that's that. And you're right, the Twins are allegedly buying, which is probably a mistake on their part, but they're going to do it.
All right, so now for the realistic trade
Now
deadline
realistic. We'll
hauls.
start with Jason.
Jason, you're up first. Walk us through who the Guardians are getting, who they're trading, and why you think this would be a positive outcome for the Guardians if it came to fruition.
I struggled with this. Like I spent a lot of time on this last night. And when you say dream scenario, that can be inferred a bunch of different ways.
Yeah.
I try to keep it realistic of like what's doable. So I came after a lot of scouring, a lot of thinking. I came up with Elliot Ramos and our old buddy Sam Hentges from the San Francisco Giants for a package of prospects. Cooper Ingle and Justin Campbell and Khalil Watson.
I
And
think it might take more.
you're right.
Yeah.
It might take more. It might take Braylon Dowdy, the top pitcher in the Guardian system, and I was trying not to include him because that's where the dream part comes into this. Elliot Ramos is under team control through 29. He's entering arbitration after the season. He's a former All-Star. He's only 26, 27, had some injuries earlier this year. That's why his numbers are down. He hasn't played a full season. But
It's a hard park to hit, too, San Francisco.
It is.
Yeah.
And he's going to be one of the top right-handed bats on the market.
Yeah.
Outfielder, can play left field, really can play any spot. That might signal the end for gosh, I just lost his name.
Stephen Kwan.
No, first baseman. Right-handed first baseman.
Kyle. Reese Hoskins.
Reese Hoskins.
Yeah, sorry.
God, I lost his
Yeah.
name. Could be Mark
Yeah, he
Dean
would be a DH.
if they did something like that. You could just rotate Ramos through the outfield. He's got 20 home run power when he's healthy and playing a full season, which, as we've long talked about, the Guardians are lacking. Hentges obviously was a non-tender guy. He had reconstructive shoulder surgery, and he's back. His metrics are down a tick. His fastball's down a tick, which isn't great, but he's getting guys out to this point. He's been effective. I've always kind of liked Hentges. I think they moved on from him because of the injuries. but he's back and throwing well. So that's the bullpen piece.
Yeah.
I was trying to come up with something for Bieber as well. I'm just
He was
fascinated.
terrible
with the idea.
yesterday after 2 good starts in a row.
Yeah,
Couldn't get
I
out of
know.
the first inning yesterday.
I think the price is going to be low.
Yeah.
I'd love to see them just try with him.
I
Just
get him
try.
because it won't cost you anything to get him.
You would think it would cost very
I
little.
mean, he's a free agent.
Yeah,
Yesterday, he couldn't get out of the first inning.
yeah.
He walked like 6 guys in the first inning. It was
Yeah,
ugly.
clearly
His 2
there's-
starts before that had been good. But
Clearly, there's maybe something more going on with the arm
yeah,
still.
yeah, yeah. That's a
But-
good trade. I think that's really. I think the Guardians have to give a little bit more, but not much.
I don't know that Cooper Ingle appeals to the Giants because
Yeah, you don't know.
They got a young catcher. That's why part of the reason they moved off their guy.
Yeah, Bailey.
And I just can't remember names. I'm totally blanking on names all of a sudden. Yeah, Bailey
Yeah, right.
traded to Cleveland. It was to make room for their own young
Yeah.
catcher. But Ingle's going to have value. He's one of the top prospects in the Guardian system. You know, you look at other names like they may want Dowdy. He's a better pitcher.
Yeah.
Jason Churio is someone they might be interested in. Campbell, the pitcher I did include, he's going to be a guy that the Guardians have to protect after the season. He's going
Right.
to be a Rule 5 guy. He's in AAA now. He's had some injuries throughout his career. So that may not be enough because Ramos is going to be he's going to be in demand because of the lack of hitting
Right.
that's out there right now.
Right.
It's weird. Normally, pitching is in high demand at trade deadlines, and hitters are a little bit easier to come by. And it seems like the reverse. There's more pitching available than hitting.
Yeah, there's a lot of pitching available.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's unusual.
It benefits the teams that are looking for pitching.
And I tried I used the Lane Thomas trade as a comp,
Yeah.
and it's roughly about what they gave up. If you look at prospect rankings, it's about what they gave up
Yeah.
for Lane.
I think Elio Ramos still has more upside.
He does,
than
and
Lane
he's
Thomas did
he's
at the
under
time.
control longer.
Yeah.
So Ingle was actually a higher prospect than what they gave up.
In the end, it depends what they think of Ingle,
Correct.
right? That's
Correct.
So.
But like Khalil Watson, I think Juan Brito type of names that could be on the move.
Yeah.
Cooper Ingle is someone. I don't think there's any world where they trade Velasquez or Angel Hanal.
No, not for these. You're only trading those guys if you're getting a superstar.
Yeah.
If you were making a Mason Miller trade,
Right.
you would trade those guys.
I think
Yeah.
Velasquez is probably the only untouchable. I don't think they want to trade Hanau, but then I don't know where Hanau comes up and where he plays. That's the other question.
I think he's the starting shortstop next year.
And then move Rocchio to second base.
Rocchio to second, Bazzana to the outfield.
That would make sense then.
Next year. I don't think it's going to happen.
Bazzana
next year.
should be, and then Kwan, maybe you're moving on from Kwan.
I mean,
too.
I think Bazzana's a center fielder. I think you would want to try him in center and see if he could play center every day.
that would be ideal
It would be
if
ideal.
he could. Yeah.
If he can handle it. I
Yeah.
think that's a spring training conversation.
But would you risk him? Center fielders get hurt a lot. Would you risk him pulling a Grady Sizemore in the throwing his body around and getting hurt?
I don't know.
I don't know. They need a center fielder.
Yeah.
They desperately need a
Yeah.
center fielder. Yes.
All right, Chris, let's get to your trade now.
All right. I had 2 trades. We're doing the first one. Which one you want to do first? Put it up
Just
there and I'll explain.
Mike?
Yeah, just follow the graphic.
Okay,
and
okay, there
you
we
can
go.
add the
All right.
third one in there because
Whoa.
it made too many words for a graphic.
So I had trouble coming up with hitters too. Don't know
So
who's
that's
going to be
2
available.
different trades.
Those are 2 different trades.
Yeah,
yes.
O'Neal Cruz on the Pirates, Blade is on the Reds.
Yeah. Now O'Neal Cruz, I know he is hurt. It sounds like
he's almost back.
He's almost back. There you go. I said O'Neal Cruz and I just threw 3 names out there that we don't know if the Pirates value that, but for Capus, Ingle, and Brito, those
No
3
chance.
guys, no chance. Okay. Well, I
Capus
just
is
threw
hurt.
those. That's right. Capus
Yeah,
is hurt.
it's just, I mean, he's way better. That's essentially what Jason's offering for Ramos, and Cruz is way better than Ramos.
Well, whatever
Yeah,
it would
yeah.
take, go get
Whatever
O'Neal
it takes.
Cruz.
If,
Yes.
if they can get O'Neal Cruz, I'm down.
He fixes a lot of problems they
but
have.
you're giving up at least to now. I
Hey,
mean,
let GM Chris cook. Hold
Oh,
on.
sorry. Go ahead.
Then you
Sorry.
could derail
Yeah.
it later, but let GM Chris cook.
Yeah.
So we got O'Neal Cruz for a couple prospects. What's next?
And then JJ Bleday, which I think probably is realistic because the Reds are going to be sellers. He only has 1 year left on his deal, but he's got 2 years of arbitration. He is flashed. He was a top prospect. I think he was a top 10 pick of the Marlins. He's bounced around a little bit this year, 18 home runs. He's kind of having a resurgence. I think you could get him cheaper because he doesn't have that long-term proven record, and he's a corner outfielder. He brings some power. It seems like a deal that the Guardians would be able to do, and here's what I know about the Reds. They have a hole at second base because Matt McClain has not been good, and if they're moving off of Tyler Stevenson, they're going to need a catcher. So you got Juan Brito in the minors. You have Cooper Ingle in the minors. Those might be prospects that the Reds would be very interested in.
Yeah.
That seems like a realistic deal that they might be able to get done. But we'll have to wait and see. But those 2 guys, if you could land those 2 guys, You fix a lot of problems in your outfield, and all of a sudden you got a little pop, you got a little speed on this team, which they sorely need.
Yeah. The Blade trade is more realistic. I even think maybe the Guardians would be giving up too much. I don't know that I'd give up Cooper Ingle for J.J. Blade.
No, I wouldn't. And I think the Pirates, are they selling? They're only a game out of the wild card.
Yeah, I wouldn't sell if I were the Pirates. I'm not sure. O'Neal Cruz was like having a borderline MVP season before he got hurt.
Yeah.
Like he was an all-star before he got hurt. I mean, he those numbers are really good. Plus he steals bases, and he plays center field. So if I could get O'Neal Cruz on this team, I would give up anything. I probably wouldn't give up Velasquez, but anybody else I would give up.
What does it take? By the way, anyone unfamiliar, Cruz is 6'7", 250, 27 years old, a lefty bat, throws righty, former shortstop, moved to center field. What would it take to get him, Bull?
What's his contract? Is he in arbitration?
He's got 1 year left with 2 arbitration.
Yeah, so he's got 3 years left of team control. That's a no. I mean, I would give up. Even if I had to give up Velasquez, ultimately I would, but I don't think they would because it's not like he's Yordan Alvarez, where you definitely give up Velasquez. But I'd give up, you'd have to give up Hanau, who's their second best prospect. You'd have to, if they wanted Cooper Ingle, and they don't have a clear answer at catcher right now. I mean, Henry Davis has not been great.
Was he the number 1 overall pick?
I don't remember.
Henry Davis? I don't think so.
No.
I don't know.
I would give up.
He was number 1 overall
Was
pick.
he?
Look at me.
I mean, who's
Good for
right
you.
now? Who is MLB.com listing as the Guardians' number 3 prospect right now?
Give me one
is
second.
it Ingle?
Probably Ingle. Yeah.
Right?
Because it'd be Velasquez, Hanau, Ingle, and then Braylon Doughty.
I give up.
MLB.com.
Yeah.
Jason's spot on. Top 5 in the correct order. Velasquez, Hanau, Ingle, Doughty.
I give them their choice of 2 of the top 5, not including Velasquez. I give them any 2 of those the rest of the 4, and then another down the line prospect.
Yeah.
And I think that, listen, I don't know if the Pirates are inclined to trade. If I'm the Pirates, I'm not trading them.
No. Why? No. Why would you're in it? Why would you?
Yeah. Now they're in a much tougher division, and it's going to be way like the Pirates have a way better record than the Guardians, but they're I think tied for the last wild card because the National League's way more stacked.
Yeah, but I mean they've been so bad for so long.
I know, and they got a
Skeens-
great pitching staff.
You've got Skeens on a.
They need to
ticking
go
clock.
trade for a closer. That's what the Pirates need.
Yeah.
They really need 2 bullpen. That's all they need. Their lineup is good, and their rotation is good. They just need. So if I'm the Pirates, I'm not trading them. But to your point, I would give up almost anything to get Velasquez. Not Velasquez, to get O'Neal Cruz. Maybe you got to put Kwan in the deal. Maybe they want because they don't want to trade. They're trading an outfielder.
Right.
Maybe it's Kwan and 2 top prospects.
I think it's probably more Angel Martinez, Angel Martinez.
Fine,
than
whatever.
Kwan.
I'll trade.
I'd take that
O'Neal
deal.
Cruz, he's on the 60-day IL, which goes through August the 7th. It looked like he was going to be ready to go in another week. They transferred him to the 60, but everything I've heard, and I pay close attention because he's on my fantasy team, is that he's going to be ready to go on August 7th when he's first eligible. So obviously the Guardians would do their due diligence, and you'd have to go a week or so without him.
Yeah.
But if they feel like he's ready to go and he can be activated August 7th, which is just, 10 days away, I would 100% trade Martinez and a couple of minor leaguers to get him.
Yeah.
If I'm the Pirates, I am not trading him, but I like both guys. I like Blade too. You're right, he was a high pick. He's had a weird career. The Marlins gave up on him. He went to the A's. He had a great first season with the A's.
Yeah.
Then last year he stunk with the A's, and they, I think, cut him. I don't know if he's traded. I can't remember. And then the Reds picked him up, and again, he's having a good season. I'm not giving up any top prospects for him, but I'd give up mid-tier prospects. But then if you're the Reds, you're like, I'd rather keep him than give up a mid.
Right.
So I don't know.
So it sounds like you're a fan of GM Chris. If the
Yeah.
Guardians are offering-
Oh, listen, if they can get O'Neal Cruz, oh my God.
Chris, you got a job.
I love O'Neal Cruz.
I'm an ideas guy. I'll throw the names out there. You guys figure out how it goes.
I've been a big O'Neal Cruz fan for a number of years. So, yes, but I wouldn't trade him if I were Pittsburgh.
What's your
And now
realistic one?
Go ahead. So I had 2 separate trades, like Chris did. And I didn't pick specific returns, but I'll do it now. So Adrian Morajan, I'm trying to be real. These are not exciting names. They're not, but they're realistic names.
Yes.
And ultimately, I don't think the Guardians are going to give up any of their top prospects. So here's two good players that I could get that make you better. Morjan comes in, excellent setup guy.
Yep.
Good late inning reliever.
Yep.
You look at his numbers this year, they're good, and in the past they've been even better. He's very durable, left-handed pitcher. Sobrowski has struggled.
Yep.
He can close if you need him to.
You and
but
I think
obviously-
of this. I mean, I have henches. You have Morjan, but same concept.
Yeah. Morjan, I didn't look at how many years he still got of team control, but I know it's a couple. 64 Ks and 57 innings, which I'll always like. He's really good. And Taylor Ward's in his last year of the contract, so they stink. You could get him relatively cheap.
Morjan's an unrestricted free agent after the season.
Oh, he is?
Yes.
There's no
I
such
didn't
thing
notice
as
that.
unrestricted free agent. You're either a free agent or you're not.
Well, he's listed as a UFA, so he's a free
Yeah,
agent.
every free agent is just a free agent in baseball. I didn't realize that. Okay, so but then you'd have to give him less for Morjan. So I think with both of these guys, you're giving up you're giving up a prospect somewhere in the 15 to 30 range.
Yeah.
One for each guy. But they both are good, could be impact players, not game changers. But going from, Daniel Schneemans and all these guys to Taylor Ward is an everyday player in the majors.
Yeah.
Good, solid player. And Morjan's a very good late inning reliever, which they need. So I think those would be two good additions, and you'd have to give up nothing. None of the big prospects you're thinking about are going anywhere for those two guys. Less exciting than your guys' trades, especially yours. Yours was the most exciting with O'Neill Cruz.
The chat is voting for GM Chris.
Yeah,
to
of
be the
course
GM
they
of their
are. So
team,
am I. I don't think O'Neill Cruz is realistic. But
you're telling me there's a chance.
But I guess that you never know with
Who
the
knows
Pirates.
with the Pirates?
The
Who
Pirates
knows?
do stupid things sometimes.
Yeah.
If I'm the Pirates, I'm looking to lock up O'Neill Cruz, not trade him. But, they locked up Connor Griffin. It's amazing. They're having a really good year, and that's with Connor Griffin's now gone for the year. Marcelo Ozuna, who they spent money on, has been a total disaster.
Skeens hasn't been lights
Skeens
out.
has been a major disappointment this year. And Jared Jones missed the first half of the season, although for the most part, he's pitched great since he's come back. He missed all of last year and the beginning of this season. But they've got a really good rotation. Their lineup's been tremendous. And even with O'Neill Cruz hurt for the last almost 2 months now.
Mm-hmm.
But they've had Ryan O'Hearn was a great pickup by them. He's been tremendous. Endy Rodriguez, their catcher, is actually pretty good. Now that I'm thinking about it, I forgot he was hurt. He just came back.
I wonder. Name that I was kicking around.
Yeah.
Jaron Duran's been in trade rumors for a year and a half. 2
I
years.
know.
Not having a great year.
No.
But would be an upgrade on this team,
Yeah.
certainly. And they just lost. They just made the trade Connolly early for Curtis Mead,
who
and
got
then-
hurt
and then
his
lost
first
Mead
game.
for the year.
Which was a terrible trade by them. I
It was
didn't
curious.
understand
It
that
was
at
really
all.
They must not have liked early nearly as much as
Yeah, he's pitched
the
well.
market does. Yeah.
Curtis Mead, to me, is a journeyman who had a hot year. I don't buy, which is kind of, no. But, that's a weird one. Well, some of the guys that we had connected to the Guardians, Spencer Steer and Casey Schmidt, both got hurt.
Yeah, Schmidt's out for the year.
He's
Torn
out. Oh, is
meniscus.
it for out for the year? I hadn't
Yeah,
seen that.
Yeah.
And Steer got hurt.
I think he's out for the year.
Yeah, I don't. You might be right. I haven't seen that. And Steer is out for a while.
Yeah.
So none of those guys are options at this point.
There
So
really
when
aren't
it's
a lot
all
of
said and
bats.
done, after 6 p.m. on Monday, which is the trade deadline, by the way, the
Yeah.
official deadline, 6 p.m., will the Guardians have made a move that we come in on Tuesday and lead the show with?
Yeah.
Yes.
You do
Because
think-
Because even if they traded for
move's gonna lead
Taylor
the show.
Ward, that would lead the show, I
Yeah.
think.
I mean, unless who knows what goes on in
You know, some-
Korea.
In the
Yeah, I mean,
quarterback.
take that out. I'm saying a move where we're like, hey, this is
It's worth talking
a
about.
real thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they
I
will,
do.
but I don't think it'll be a blockbuster,
Totally agree.
unfortunately.
And I think mine falls in that range of like, all right, it's an upgrade. It's not anything that dazzles
Yeah.
you. It doesn't wow you, but it's a move.
No.
of
O'Neill
impact.
Cruz would be huge.
Oh yeah.
Elio Ramos would be big. Taylor Ward would be fine.
Yeah.
Last question, then we'll take a break, and then we'll do the best future media members to wrap it up.
Okay.
You gave us 3 names on your unrealistic deadline haul, and we'll add O'Neill Cruz to that list because I guess he fits in the same Miller, Buxton, Goodman, and Cruz. Do any of those 4 players have a higher than 5% chance of ending up in Cleveland?
In Cleveland?
In Cleveland.
No.
Okay.
5%. I'd say Miller
five.
at 6.5%. The other Goodman, they're not getting
Buxton's not going to
Goodman.
get traded.
Buxton's not going to get traded.
The Rockies, you never know. They're a dumb organization, but there's no reason
They're not
they
going to
should
trade for
him.
two
They have
catchers.
Paul
in the same-
DePodesta now, too.
And
so
the Guardians are not going to trade for a catcher. Plus, the Rockies just shouldn't trade him. It'd be stupid to trade him.
And the Guardians value defense and pitch framing far more than any other team. So
Right.
they don't. So Goodman's not a match.
O'Neal Cruz. You want to say a 5% chance on O'Neal Cruz and Mason Miller? Okay.
I would put
But-
Cruz at less than 5 because I don't think
Yeah.
the Pirates trade
I don't think the Pirates going to
Miller.
trade him.
I think Miller could be on the move. So that's why I put it
Right,
above.
but the Guardians would have to give up Velasquez and Hanau to get him.
Probably Hanau because they gave up DeVries to
Yeah.
get Miller, so they would want something of that.
Yeah. You're
Same.
going to have to give up a boatload to get
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
I mean, he's the best relief pitcher in baseball. It's not even close.
Yeah.
And he's under team control.
I'd have to think long and hard on Hanau. I would
100%
I would
give
do
him
it.
up.
I would
I'd give
do
up
it.
anybody to get
Yeah, I
Mason
would do
Miller.
it.
If you had Cade Smith and Mason Miller, that's 3 innings at the end of every game between the two of them in the
October.
playoffs.
Yeah, in October.
That you got two of the best guy and
You're
another top
You're basically
10.
going all in on run prevention.
Yes.
Not scoring.
Yes.
Just run prevention.
Yeah. And then that's true.